Quest for the Lost Pixel and the Virtues of Randomness. The indie roguelike pixel art dungeon crawl genre is a common one in the world of video games, but a little less so in the world of board games. But that's exactly what Quest for the Lost Pixel is. The game, designed by Peter Jank, is available solely through the print-on-demand service The Game Crafter, and each copy is indeed printed on demand. Once ordered, you can actually monitor the place of your project in the printer's queue. And what a game this is! Once the available expansions are added in, there are 4 now available, and the game is officially finished, at least in terms of official support from the designer. Quest for the Lost Pixel becomes one of the most robust, zero-to-hero, classic-style dungeon crawl board games available. Even without the expansions, the core set is absolutely overflowing with content, with nearly 1,000 cards. But the game is so good, you're going to want to add everything eventually. In Quest, you will lead a hero, chosen from an assortment of classes, some standard, some totally wild, on a journey through a 10-level dungeon, searching for the fabled Lost Pixel, all while fighting monsters, exploring new dungeon rooms, avoiding traps, acquiring loot, and maybe perhaps enjoying some fishing as well, reeling in those precious catches to feed to your pet ally with the hopes of transforming them into a more powerful creature. As you work your way down through the depths of the dungeon, the monsters and loot get more powerful, and you'll find yourself having to defend against an onslaught of elemental attacks, praying to the gods of dice to stay alive just a bit longer, just long enough to maybe level up, heal, and find the stairs leading ever downwards. On your journey, you may stumble across the Catacombs, a dungeon within the dungeon, presented as a press your luck style minigame, where the choice to continue on for greater rewards is offset by the threat of imminent danger ever lurking behind each draw of a card. Maybe you'll run across a shop where you can buy level appropriate gear, or perhaps you'll learn some new and useful spells, or maybe you'll discover a crafting station where you can trade in your unwanted gear for the chance of something better. With the final expansion just released, you can devote your faith to a chosen deity, and you can use your hard-earned experience points to help rebuild your hero's town, with each new building offering up a gameplay bonus. The joy of the game lies within the realms of randomness. Like its video game cousins, this roguelike dungeon crawl is randomly seeded every single game. Almost everything is presented by a deck of cards. Once everything is shuffled and staged, you have created that game's seed. There is a deck for the dungeon tiles, 10 different decks of standard monsters, 10 different decks of standard treasures, including weapons, armor, boots, helmets, rings, and more. There is a deck of artifacts, more powerful loot, a deck of spells, a deck of random wandering monsters, a deck of random events, and even a deck of super powerful cheat codes for which you'll have to play a Yahtzee-style minigame to unlock. There are countless ways in which this game throws surprises at the player, and every game feels like a fresh and new experience. And like those digital roguelike games, sometimes the seed is in your favor, and sometimes it's simply not. It can be unfair, but it is always fun. This is not a game for those wanting to carefully plan out and execute a flawless strategy with perfect tactics. Most of all, Quest for the Lost Pixel is simply overflowing with fun. From its colorful pixel art, to its video game Easter eggs, to the wonderful variety of heroes, monsters, and loot, everything in this game seems to be ultimately concerned with one thing: fun. It's simple and light, and yet still a challenge. It can be set up and learned in a matter of minutes, but I can see myself returning to and enjoying this game over and over again for many years to come. It's a nearly perfect example of the dungeon crawl genre. Quest for the Lost Pixel is a passion project in the purest sense of the phrase, and comes highly recommended to all fans of fantasy gaming.